Opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and not WSTU. WSTU does not endorse any products mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU.
The Treasure Coast longest running local talk radio show is on the air. The Treasure Coast Forum. Get interested, get educated, get involved, and give us a call with your opinions at 220-9788. And here's your host of the Treasure Coast Forum.
Hey, yo, everybody. You are listening to WSTU 1450, the Treasure Coast Forum. I'm Amira Meehan, and I'm here with Mr. Frank Metzapelli.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey.
Second time I said hey, yo. I think I'm going to keep saying hey, yo. Because the thing is, we need a younger audience. I mean, we love the older audience, but
Yeah.
we need a younger audience.
All right. We're trying to expand our listenership. Okay. All right. Very good. Well done. So, what do we do? What's first on the hit parade?
Well, Tucker Carlson went to Russia, had an interview with Vladimir Putin. Everyone's talking about it. But there's another video that was released of Tucker Carlson doing grocery shopping. Did you see this one?
No.
He went grocery shopping in Russia. He just went around. There were Snickers. There were like all sorts of like Western chocolate brands, but that's pretty much it. And then there was like a bunch of other like really nice bread, and he was like freaking out. He was like smelling the bread. He's like, "Yay!" He went to the cash register.
Right.
And he decided to buy like approximately a week's worth of groceries for like a nuclear American family.
All right.
Right. It was $100 or something at the end, and Tucker's like, "Oh my God, can you believe this? Look at Russia's thriving. In America, it'd be so much more expensive. Our economy is ruined." Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You know what the wages are in Russia are way lower than they are here. Like their minimum wage a week, they're probably making, I don't know, $10 a week if they're like an average worker.
All right.
So they make much less money than they do now. So I feel like, again, this looks a bit more like propaganda. Kind of like how the left made a huge propaganda thing with Zelensky in Ukraine. Now there's some people on the right doing a whole propaganda thing with Russia at the same time. Like everything, it's just a whole propaganda war.
So a slice of the story, but not the whole story.
Exactly.
Yes.
Everything is just a bunch of random cake slices and different flavors too. They don't even add up to the same cake.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like it's probably a cookie.
Yeah.
And they're giving us you get what I'm saying. You get the metaphor.
Soylent Green.
Yes.
Oof.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Pineapple cookie.
Oh, yeah.
Ew.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah, no. No. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
want
How
cookies now.
Is that
I
what
think it's because I'm starving.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's pretty wild. That is really wild. So I don't even know. Now I 100% don't know. Just don't trust anyone, pretty much.
Right.
Don't trust anyone.
So
watch the news, but I mean, is it news? I don't think so.
Brett Baer, who is the correspondent, one of the news anchors at Fox, is in Ukraine, and he is interviewing President Zelensky. I think, and it is supposed to air today.
Oh, okay.
So that will be something we can talk about next week. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So, because we heard from one side, and we should hear from the other, and there's a lot of wringing hands of gnashing of teeth about what to do about our border, Ukraine's border. Ukraine needs a lot of money for munitions and stuff, and
but we need help with our border too.
You'd think.
Yeah.
We
should be asking other countries to help us.
That would be refreshing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, the U.S. asking for help, but our ego is too big. We have too much.
Well, no, I mean, but I even if we did ask for help, I think we would be. Some of us would be surprised. Most of us would be not surprised that not much would come of the request.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
So. I would be counted upon the not surprised category.
You're never surprised
about that. Some things I pretty much
What's something that has surprised you?
That is a good question. It takes an awful lot to surprise me. Yeah, no, I don't know. I take everything in stride.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really get taken by surprise too much. Got in a car accident once. That was a surprise.
Oh, okay, cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
that was something that I
You
did.
were okay, right?
Oh yeah, it was
Wasn't
just
bad.
I was hit by a drunk driver. So you just
Oh, okay,
yeah, but you know that was
cool.
that caught me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, but most things that
Yeah.
happen, yeah, pretty much I kind of roll with it.
hmm
You know.
What I find surprising is
Mhm.
that the moment the Wright brothers invented the first like little plane,
Yeah,
and then the moment we went to the moon, landed on the moon, it's like
right.
66 years apart.
Yeah,
It's only 66 years apart.
yeah,
I still can't fathom.
yeah. 6.5 decades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that long.
No.
My grandparents are older. We
Mhm.
went from little woody plane,
Right.
like with a little bicycle type of like paddling thing where
Right.
you sit on it,
Right.
all the way to we're on the moon with a rocket ship.
Yeah. That's nuts.
I know.
Right.
Crazy. And then what's also crazy is we landed on the moon before we decided it would be a good idea to put wheels on suitcases.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. I can't. That's one of the craziest things that we didn't put wheels on luggage and trunks
Right.
till like the 70s.
Yeah.
That freaks me out. What the heck did you guys do? You lifted all that stuff? Did you
Sure.
drag it? You put it in a wagon? Would you
Yeah,
bring like a wheelbarrow to the airport?
they actually had carts
Oh, okay.
at the
Like at the
air-
hotel, like a hotel.
Yes. Yeah.
But why didn't they just put wheels instead of like putting wheels on the cart to hold the stuff? Put the wheels on the box
Yeah.
itself.
It was just probably
Took them a while.
an American inventor looked at that and says, we can do better.
Yeah,
You know.
but
I met some inventors.
let's land on the moon first.
Well, it's all about
That's
focus,
insane.
things that you focus
Yeah.
on. I mean, for millennia, people have been staring at
Mm-hmm.
the moon
Yeah.
and wondering, what is it?
But for millennia, people have struggled with carrying things. So
Well,
I don't-
the Africans, they just put it on their heads, right?
that's painful. Like at least at one point, the African, especially the first time, will be thinking,
Right.
"Why am I doing this? It must
Right.
be a better way." Like as soon as he gets neck sore, you know, like okay, sure, we're gonna look at the moon and think we should go there, but that's
Yeah.
like for 2 seconds. Okay, whatever, cool dream. Every day, you're gonna think about why the heck do I have to lift this with my bare hands? Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's why I just don't understand.
yes. Okay.
That's why I'm surprised.
So, want to talk about school, youth, and government? To talk about your
Please, no,
yeah.
I'm so stressed about it. No.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's bring our listeners in about.
Okay,
your
I'm running
school.
for governor, and then there's like a bunch of emails coming from this woman saying that I didn't sign some stuff, even though I think I did sign that stuff. Okay, end of story.
Okay.
End of discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then you're involved in another program,
Oh yeah, Model UN. The conference is next Friday.
right? Model UN.
Looking
And-
at Belgian stuff. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I learned about Belgium with their freedom of press stuff.
Okay.
So, they have anti-discrimination laws, anti-racist laws, which
Right.
they'll punish hate speech. Like here, they're more strict with free speech over there than they are here. Of course, it has to. It's very vague the way they figure it out.
Who
it-
defines what hate speech is?
Hate speech, it's pretty much any speech that incites violence to anything. But then when you say anti-racist, it's like calling someone the N-word does not mean that I'm gonna murder someone. I'm just being an asshole.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not allowed to say that.
No.
Oof, I'm being a butthole.
Yes.
I'm being a jerk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I added like too many insults to
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
we can recover from that. We won't get sued, right?
You never know. FCC, don't listen in. Okay.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
there we go. It's
Okay.
fine. Never happened. Never said anything.
All right.
Maybe they'll just beep me. You
Yes.
know. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. So where were we?
Oh yeah, we were at anti-discrimination laws and
Yes.
anti-racist laws for
Mhm.
Belgium's free speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they go about it a little bit differently than we do.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
have the First Amendment like we do.
Yeah, I remember there was this one case where this one made sense to me because it could be very suspicious. Someone went into someone's apartment complex, wrote on a big sign in black paint, so it's vandalizing already.
Right.
Um,
Breaking and
something
entering.
N words, F N words. That's what
Okay.
he said,
All right.
and then he put an arrow on the door. That's kind of scary.
All
if
right.
that's there. If you went and you saw that, it could be seen as like someone vandalized my property. Someone was here at my property. Someone knows I live here. Someone hates me and they know I live here. It's a little scary. So
Right.
that I kind of get if that's like a little too far. But I don't feel like, again, I think it's bad because it was vandalized. If the guy verbally said N words, F N words, I don't think that should be punished. I mean, he's an a-hole. I get it. But that's not going to incite violence. That's just saying that N words, F N words. And I mean, if you really look at it in a literal standpoint, they do. They F anyone just like anyone Fs at other people. But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my position on speech is that it basically I'm okay with speech.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But when it's written,
well, so vandalism is a
Yeah,
whole
that's a
nother
whole-
thing.
that's a whole
That's
nother
another
thing.
story.
but it wasn't punished for vandalism. That's why it was just punished for the speech.
Yeah, see, that's too
that's a
broad of
little-
a brush. I
Yeah.
think you need to be narrow the focus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to like your speech.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to support your speech, but I would support your ability
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
freely
If you
speak.
have the freedom to talk trash about me, I have the freedom to tell you to shut up.
Or yes.
Yeah.
Or respond in kind.
Yeah.
Yes. And but that's the freedom of speech,
Mhm.
which is totally unique to our system of governance.
Mhm.
Totally unique. Many countries have a real problem with that. And our country now, with the internet and social media, all of a sudden free speech is not so free.
At the end of the day, you're not going to be punishable by law, but society will literally watch you swing.
Or the people who manage those platforms
We'll ban you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So banished is huge.
Yeah, same thing. Again, I remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter and brought Trump back in.
Right.
He only brings Trump back in because he likes Trump and his views. Whereas when other people oppose Elon Musk, they
No,
get.
he
I've heard like stuff
well,
about him.
perhaps, but
yeah.
I think the larger, more important issue is he brought Trump in because whether he agrees with him or not,
He gets attention.
it's not the issue. Anybody, whether it's the president, the former president, or somebody who even wants to be president,
Mhm.
they should have a platform where they can freely speak.
Yeah.
Period. Full stop. That's it.
Mhm.
And nobody should be the arbiter to
Mhm.
say you can't be here.
Yeah.
Who made that person God? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So
I do get if you ban someone because they're like doing something illegal, like
Correct.
full on. But
just like vandalism.
there were people like Elon Musk's lawyers who
Mhm.
were threatening to do something that he didn't like,
Right.
and so he pretty much banned them off Twitter and stuff because he owned the platform.
Well,
Again, some people argue that if you get banned one place, you can always speak another place.
correct. Yeah, there's many other
Yeah.
platforms. Trump has his own platform called Truth Social,
Oh, cool.
and there's a couple of other
Yeah.
good platforms that you can.
Mhm.
But the whole notion that when you are talking or in the sense of a computer typing out some words affecting a thought,
Mhm.
and so this is a good question for you. When you are writing on your computer on social media, let's say
Mhm.
I don't know if you
I don't have
Okay.
it. I just got
Le-
it for youth and
let's-
government,
okay.
but then we don't have to go into that.
Let's pretend you're on
Let's pretend I have it.
you're on Facebook.
Wait, Instagram.
Okay.
Trying to get you hip.
Okay. All right. Let's pretend you're on Instagram
Mhm.
and you are having a conversation with somebody.
Mhm.
Would you just verbalize in writing your thoughts, just express your thoughts, or would you be thinking, well, can I say this? How can I say it a different
I'd
way?
be thinking.
Yes,
I'd be thinking.
this is not right.
That's not right. No.
I don't agree with that. You
Well-
should be able to freely express your thoughts
100%.
and
But then again, I might not
And
be
then-
thinking that, oh, I'm going to get banned. I'll be thinking that what if this person's a friend of mine and will hate me after I say this?
Well,
Or, what if,
here's another problem.
yeah.
So sometimes in college admissions, we'll look at your
Yeah.
social media,
That's
and
another thing.
they'll make some
You know what's
decisions
crazy?
on that.
Every time I'm critical about Harvard or any Ivy League school here, as soon as I'm in the car, I think about it. I think about when I admit, are they going to listen to my radio show? And I put in my application that I do a radio show, and they'll hear that I trash talk them a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
on YouTube,
that's-
and you don't know how long these shows
Yeah,
could
but
live
then
on YouTube.
I'm going to clarify this right now for Harvard or any Ivy League listening. I was just criticizing the state of what's going on now.
Mhm.
In the future, that doesn't reflect the whole future of your institution just because one person did this or a couple people did that. That's bad, but that doesn't reflect every single thing that makes Harvard.
Mhm.
And of course, in the future, it'll get better. But
Right.
if something's wrong, I'm going to speak up. They should encourage their own students to go speak up if something's going on.
Right. Okay. Well said. Okay. So you cleared the air on that.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
What's item number 2?
Item number 2. I mean, another thing that I found interesting about Belgian free speech policy was they have a step liability thing when it comes to press.
Mhm.
So there's this thing where if someone says something that's like not right, like
Mhm.
if they publish something that was like classified documents of the government that the government thinks is not right, that should be published and is illegal, or anti-discrimination, anti-racist laws, just go pounding on it, being like, this is too offensive, this is hate speech, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They will only punish the writer. And if the writer isn't available or is not there, they can't find him, they'll punish the publisher. They'll punish only one person.
Hmm.
So what I found interesting about that is that it may sound unfair because you're like, wait, but then if one person committed this crime and someone, wrote something and then someone picked it up, published it, and distributed it, you would think that they would be also equally as guilty because they spread the speech.
Culpable. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. But then when I thought about it, again, if you really want to protect speech, when speech happens, what if the government is wrong?
Right.
What if the speech they punished was wrong?
Correct.
Then the speech would be gone forever if they punished everyone.
Yes.
So I thought that very, very cool on Belgium's part.
Right.
That was very interesting. So the speech, if it's out, it's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes back to innocent until proven guilty as well.
Do they have that? Some
Liability? Do they have in the U.S.?
So, well, we have that,
Yeah.
but I imagine, like in Japan, for example,
Mhm.
they have a 99% conviction rate. So you are guilty, and you have to prove yourself innocent. Then if you ever get arrested in Japan, it's game over. You are going to jail
Uh-huh.
or pleading guilty and going to jail.
But
So
so do they have a legal system or no?
sure, the legal system is everybody's guilty, and you have to hire a good lawyer.
Wait,
And-
why would you hire a lawyer if you're going to be guilty anyway?
That it's just pro-functionary. And
Really?
yeah.
What's the most convicted crime there? What's like the most popular crime to commit in Japan?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Research that.
Yes, but they have they have an entirely different system than we have. So they
Again, and then this goes back to the argument about school shootings being caused by video games. Again, Japanese kids play more video games than anyone else,
right.
and they're not shooting anyone.
No, but they're not allowed to have guns either
Yeah.
in their society. But
Also,
there's a lot of stabbings that take place. There's that, knives. So what are we laughing? So
Nothing. It's just okay. This is
your
just
Google search went awry.
I know. I'm so sorry, but I thought this was something about Model UN, but it ended up being a joke. I was like, this one girl's like, I have bad news, and it was because tomorrow we're writing the position paper full on for Belgium,
Mhm.
and then I was like, oh no, is this something about that? And then so I'm writing this short story that's like criticizing religion, kind of as a satire. It's a comedy.
Okay.
And so she sent me a thing where I have a celebrity crush, right? Like all-time favorite. And she's like, oh no. I'm like, would I go to heaven? And then maybe because there's no way I'm ever gonna I don't have game. So there's no way I'll ever get him. So I'm like, maybe when I die and then he dies and we go to heaven and we have nothing else, then we'll be together. And then she's like, but no, your crush ain't going to heaven. And then she sent me like all these weird taboos, like random taboos. People who eat too much pork do not go to heaven. Short people will not go to heaven, which means I'm not going to heaven. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that was that.
I'm sure there'll be a special place for you.
Yay.
Don't worry about that. All right. So your Google search fell on. It didn't work, huh?
I tried. No, it didn't work. I tried to search up the
All right.
most popular crime. Could you maybe search it up?
We can do that. We'll do that when we come back. And let's see. Where are we at here? Okay. All right. Let's toss it to Rocky and Bullwinkle and see if they can take it away, Rocky.
And now,
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
again,
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
All right. We're back.
You're listening to Jump by Van Halen.
That's right. You're listening to also Treasure Coast Forum.
Oh, yeah, that's happening too.
Yes. All right. So we're going to Google.
The most popular crime committed in Japan, because prior to going and tossing to Rocky and Bullwinkle, we talked about how 99%, that was the statistic you gave me, or 90%?
It's
99% of people who get arrested go to jail in Japan. So.
It's in the 90 percentile. So
I get full on guilty. They're all guilty. Like, has there anyone? What's the 1%? What are the cases of the 1% where they're
some
innocent?
of them are just adjudicated. I know of some of them where they're adjudicated because their political people step in and
Nepo babies and stuff.
well,
Okay.
it could be like people that. So the big problem is if you're from another country and you commit a crime in any country, you are still subject to their laws.
Oh shoot!
So there's that.
I'm scared of going to Japan now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm like, I wouldn't do anything, but what if I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Right.
Will like
Okay.
the U.S. do anything? Like the U.S. Embassy, will they send someone over?
Well, they'll lobby basically on they look at the case and they'll go to their counterparts in Japan and say, well, we think this individual is unfairly incarcerated, because of these reasons, and we'd encourage you to let him go.
Mhm. They could just encourage.
That's all.
They can't force.
No.
I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I would be screwed.
Okay.
Okay.
So common crimes,
In Japan.
right?
Fun fact, everyone, while we're
Yes.
waiting, George Washington was ginger,
Okay, ginger means
red hair.
He was okay
He
because
was a redhead.
okay, so that means that
So-
he had some English
Yeah,
Irish, right?
Not just a redhead, but of course he had horrible teeth. Like, can you imagine being
Right.
a British soldier? And he was 6'1" too. 6'1" back then's like 7'8".
Right.
So like, imagine that guy just charging in front of you. I would like surrender right there. I'm
Mhm.
like, screw this. Let America be its own thing.
Right.
But
The majority of crimes recorded in Japan are theft offenses.
theft.
Among the violent crimes, the most reported offenses are assaults and bodily injuries, followed by rapes and homicides. Approximately 21.1 cases of assault and 0.07 cases of murder were recorded per 100,000 Japanese inhabitants in 2021.
That's why the crime's so low, because everyone's guilty as soon as they commit.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, Japan's so cool. Everyone plays video games and no one shoots people. And yeah, no.
Yeah. So there you
Aren't
go.
they a democracy though?
They have their own.
Thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's that. So yeah, and this is good advice. If you go out of country,
Mm-hmm.
just because you're an American does not give you carte blanche to do.
You're not indestructible.
No. And you are going to be held to whatever the extent of the law is and wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
So
What if the law is absolutely ridiculous?
doesn't matter.
Oh man.
It's like illegal jeopardy here in the U.S. If you do something, if you somebody gives you a contract and you sign it anyways without reading it,
Mm-hmm.
bad on you.
Mhm.
You signed it.
Mhm.
Well,
That's the number one lie told in America. I think I agree to the terms above, terms and conditions.
yeah,
I do that all the time.
Right.
I'm not reading that.
right,
Especially like if I'm like signing up for BuzzFeed,
right,
I'm not gonna read that.
right. Nobody does.
No.
But if something bad comes from your agreeing,
Yeah, it's your fault.
it's hey,
I think they intentionally
they
make
go,
the font small
you signed
and
it.
they make a whole scrolly thing. They want you to not read it.
You
Kind of like Willy
agreed.
Wonka. Remember what
Yeah,
he did? Where
sure.
the font got like so minuscule towards the end and he's
Yeah.
like, okay, just sign it.
yeah. Yes. All right. So a couple things that happened this day. Let's do a little bit of this day in history. Then we'll check the news. But I think kind of cool. Speaking of George Washington, today is his birthday. And George Washington was born on February 22nd, 1732 in Westmoreland County in Eastern Virginia. And in three crucial ways, he shaped our nation. First, he led American forces during the fight for independence. Second, he presided over the writing of our Constitution. And third, he served as our very first president. Pretty cool. And on this day in history, Spain ceded Florida to the United States in the year 1819.
Oh, cool.
It was a Spanish possession. Prior to that, Frank Woolworth starts a retail revolution when he opens his very first 5 and dime store in Utica, New York on this date in 1879. Can you imagine
don't know
buying
what
something
that
for
is.
5 cents?
Oh, it's like Five Below or the Dollar Tree.
Ah.
Oh my God. For
yeah.
5 cents?
5 cents.
Jesus.
You can buy stuff.
You know, my school
Mm-hmm.
band charity sending these amazing like chocolates. I've the best chocolate I've had is Munn's,
Yeah.
and it's in Switzerland. You can't buy it online. You have to go to Switzerland and get it.
Okay.
Which is why I'm depressed every day. My life is horrible without it.
There is a chocolate store here in Stewart
Mm-hmm.
that's called Castronova,
Castronova.
and they're on Colorado
Mm-hmm.
near Confusion Corner
Mhm.
in that 8-something building,
Yeah.
right? They're one of the They're one of the stores facing. I think they face the railroad track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They are award-winning chocolatiers.
Oh, I have to go.
That is
I haven't seen
that's
Stuart
a
yet.
bucket list item for you. You
I
need
have
to
to
go
see
there.
Stuart.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway,
All right.
So-
So, a couple more things here for you. Calvin Coolidge delivers the very first, and here's radio gets involved. Every time we do this, there's a radio element. You notice that? Right? Calvin Coolidge delivers the very first presidential radio broadcast from the White House on this date in 1924.
we were just talking about Calvin Coolidge.
I know it.
That's insane.
Isn't that how that ties it all together?
That's cool.
Right? And the U.S. Olympic hockey team wins a stunning victory against the Soviets 4-3 at Lake Placid, New York on this date in 1980.
That reminds me of Jesse Owens.
And I've got some sound from that.
Ooh.
So see if we
There, the puck is still loose. 11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
There it is. The Soviets were scheduled to win.
Mhm.
Everybody, because the U.S. hockey team was true amateurs, just Olympians, right? And they don't have professional sports in the Soviet Union, so
Yeah.
they're semi-pros. They're
Mhm.
really professional players, and they got spanked 4-3.
Nice.
Nice. So that was, and that was pretty cool. And of course, Ronald Reagan was president also
Yeah,
in
and it was
1980.
Cold War.
So it's
there was
it's
some,
all sauce for the goose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me when Jesse Owens won in the Olympics again, beat Germany, and Hitler was there and saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seminal
That was
moment.
cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can imagine him just sulking. Hitler just sulking.
Yeah.
And like a couple people be like,
He didn't
but,
like it."
But Fuhrer, you said that they're inferior.
Yeah. Well, except for that guy.
Yeah.
Except for that guy. He was pretty good. Let's see now. So did your phone give you any trouble today?
Phone give me any trouble? SOS alarm? That type of thing?
So
Where you'd have like
no.
my
so,
mom's phone gave her trouble.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because the cell phone outage hit AT&T customers nationwide. Verizon and T-Mobile users were also
That
affected.
makes sense.
This started at about 3 something in the morning
Mhm.
today,
Mhm.
and it wasn't resolved till about 3 this afternoon. So there's lots of speculation about what happened, but AT&T service was down in major cities across the United States before and restored. They're saying hours later. It's like 6 hours later, or
Mhm.
quite a few hours later. But
All of them went down the same.
tens of thousands of AT&T customers were left without service for hours on Thursday for their home phone, internet, and mobile phone services, according to a down detector. The outages started popping up just before 3:30 a.m. Eastern Time, according to a graph shown on the website that tracks outages. Nearly 4,900 after spiking to more than 73,000 just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Most users still impacted. 51% say they're having issues with mobile phone service. So if you lost your internet connection, or if your device just stopped working,
All of the companies at the same time?
was mostly AT&T, but the problem is, let's say you're having a phone or you're
Yeah.
texting with somebody who's a T-Mobile mobile
Yeah.
user, and you're using your AT&T phone.
Oh, okay.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
it
So
wasn't.
why did it happen?
Nobody really knows. Some people
Glitch?
could be, but it's major because this
Yeah.
gets into internet security and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
it affected so many.
some people have speculated that it could be a cyber crime.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet, but they've already come out and said it wasn't. But other people
But
are
of
saying,
course,
no, maybe.
Again, different pieces of different cakes
Right,
when
right.
it really is a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it'll take a while for them to, I guess, to unravel that issue until they fully understand what happened.
Mhm.
But hopefully we'll get an actual accounting. But it's not good.
No.
Not good, because a lot of security devices now are monitors and all that. They're all connected to cell phones.
Yeah. Everything.
So yeah.
Like my phone knows my face.
Yeah.
My phone knows when I say something. Like I know this one girl. She's a kid in my class. There's this new setting on your AirPods where if you start talking to someone and you're still wearing it, the phone will automatically know to turn down the volume of the music by itself.
Nice.
And it knows you're talking. And you're not pressing any button. You're just
Right.
wearing AirPods.
Right.
And it's not like a vibration thing because, you could shake your head all you want. It's not going to come off. It won't go down. It's when you start talking. So it knows everything. I'm pretty sure if someone really
That's
dissected anyone's phone, you dissect the person themselves.
Hmm.
So, I mean, at least with my generation, because everything I am is on this phone. Like the amount of photos I have of my celebrity crush, if someone got them and found out, I would be ruined forever.
Oh, no.
I'd be mortified.
Oh, the humanity.
But then there's more serious things to do. Once I grow up, there'll be like my bank account.
Right.
And like, what if I become president of the United States, guys? Every time I'm in a room in the cabinet with like a bunch of people talking to them, what's in my pocket? What's right in front of me right now? My phone.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, before we go to break here, I'm going to just leave us with another thought. U.S. spacecraft will soon attempt landing on the moon. It's going to be unmanned.
Oh, okay.
But it's already on its way.
Oh, cool.
All right. So we'll be following that story. It's called the Lander Odie. It'll be the first commercial spacecraft ever to land on the lunar surface.
Mm.
So that's pretty cool. And we'll check that out. As time goes on, we'll learn more about that and we'll share that with you, our listeners. But we're going to step aside right now and we'll be right back. So stick with us. Hello. Hey. Yes. No. It'll. Okay. All right. You want to stay on the line? We'll talk about it. Sure, we could chat about it. I'll be back in about 27 seconds. Stand by. Hang on. All right, we are back. And so we've got a caller on our newsmaker line. Go ahead, Debbie.
How are you, Frank?
Hey,
And how are you, young lady? I love listening to you every week.
Oh,
You are
thank
so
you.
full of energy and information. It's wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
Don't lose that. Don't ever lose that. But my thought is, you were talking about phones, and if you're the president and you're going to have a phone in front of you and all that. The phones are they're here like the disc things. They'll go away. There'll be something you'll put in your ear, and it'll be like transcendental meditation. You'll be able to perform yourself from one spot to another, not actually be there, and talk to people, and they'll talk to you.
Nice.
We were talking about this earlier, actually, especially after the release of the Apple Vision Pro. If you have read about that, which is meeting a lot of criticism, which is good. A lot of sane people are criticizing it, and they should. It's a little wild, wearing a huge headset, and it only has a battery life of 2 to 3 hours anyway.
Right.
And
it's
so
like a $3,000 expense.
it's the $4,000,
Oh.
$3,000 to $4,000.
Yeah.
I think it might be cool at home for a couple of hours, but at the end of the day, it's heavy. Probably, I probably want to take it out. But there are people who are taking it on the subway and all that stuff. It doesn't work right when the train moves, though, because of the spatial recognition.
But remember, computers were a size of a room at one time.
Yeah.
And now it's an iPad, it's your phone. You put things in your ears, and you have a watch that can tell you what's going on. So what these heavy things will do, they'll filter down to maybe what do you call that when you put it in your eyes?
Contact lenses?
Yes.
Could be.
Yeah, eventually, but I don't feel like that's going to happen anytime, within the next couple of decades. That's pretty advanced to have just a lens hold everything and recognize everything and not mess you up, because you're putting that right in your eye. So I have a feeling that even if they did invent that, there'll be a lot of health concerns, a lot of problems. People probably will go blind. There'll probably be some retinal dysfunction, all sorts of stuff if that happened. But anyway,
it'll probably happen. Everything happens when everything new is, invented anyway. You have to go through trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
But it'll not in my life on the earth, or Frank's, but maybe yours. You will be amazed at the advancement that will come, and fast, because we were in the manufacturing world, and this is so advanced so quickly for us, even though it started in the 60s, 70s, and we got it in the 80s.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it's all going to evolve, and it's going to get simpler as the generations go forth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'll tell our listeners, if you want to hear more of Debbie, you tune in tomorrow at 5:00. And we've got the Friday Fun Day show where Debbie is an integral part of that show. So thanks for calling in, Deb.
Frank.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All
I
right.
hope I put some food for thought there.
Yes, I think you did. I think you planted the seeds of thought right there. All right. Outstanding.
Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Debbie's a good egg. She's a wonderful person,
Haven't met her yet.
but you'd love her.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome.
When is she? Will she ever come during one of these shows?
Maybe we can get her to come in,
Ooh.
sit with us. Sure. Yeah. But she's still working. So she
Mhm.
owns a hair salon. And so she has to work around the Friday schedule. So she helps us out on the Friday show, but she actually has to work her work schedule so that she's available for Friday. So,
Oh, cool.
anyways, you heard of this lady called Rashida Tlaib?
No.
She is a congressperson,
Mhm.
and she's declared war on Joe Biden.
Oh, full on declare war. Like she said that.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, basically.
Okay. Cool.
She's gone off now. She's a Democrat,
Oh yeah. Cool. Cool.
but so Joe Biden is 100%, standing with Israel on this whole.
I mean, his secretaries are telling him to. He doesn't know what's going on.
Well, yes, the Biden administration.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, is standing full throat with Israel and their conflict with the folks at Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, to be clear. Okay, but Rashida Tlaib, she feels that the folks in the Gaza Strip are being unfairly affected because Israel is fighting back against Hamas.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's a big pro Hamas person and she sits in Congress. What can go wrong?
Oh, great.
Yeah. So there's that. And so her and Biden just don't see eye to eye on this topic.
I think her and most people who are saying don't see eye to eye.
Well, this is true. But anyways, so there's a little bit of friction within the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm.
There are people also wondering if Biden actually will be on the final ticket against whoever the Republican candidate will be. So that'll
if
be
Biden
interesting.
is not, who will succeed anyway?
Well,
will Kamala Harris run?
Maybe it could be Gavin Newsom. We've got a caller on our newsmaker line. Go ahead,
not
caller.
Not Gavin Newsom.
No,
Not.
no.
It's
Okay,
not. Okay.
okay.
So anyway,
Yes.
hello, Frank.
Hey,
Hello, Mia.
how you doing?
Good. So anyway, Rashida Tlaib
Yes.
is part of the Mean Girls.
The Mean
Squad.
Girls, the squad. Yes,
Oh, with
The
AOC?
squad,
right.
okay?
She's part of the
There's
AOC
the
squad.
Oh, okay, cool.
AOC and a whole bunch of them.
Right.
And there goes my therapy dog. He's exercising. He's exercising right now, guys.
Okay.
So anyway, and I'm going to go inside this dog. The other thing is that Lander is privately owned,
Yes.
and NASA's giving him like a lot of money, and its life is going to be 1 week, 7 days,
Right. One.
because it can't handle the cold, and we're about to start a lunar winter or something.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It'll go into. That's exactly right. It'll be in the sunlight for about a week or two, and
Well, I
then
don't think it's going to sleep, Frank. I think it's going to be more time. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. It
Well-
could wake up, maybe.
it could. Well, it depends on how stout the equipment is, but they don't expect it to survive the cold weather once the moon.
Right, that's
that
what
part
I'm
of the
saying.
moon
I think
goes dark.
that after 7 days, it's going to be a very big weight, like a paperweight,
Right.
extremely huge.
Okay, so I got a quick question for you before we let you go. Want to see if who is, because they're starting to pick a potential running mate for Donald Trump, because it looks like he's going to be the candidate running on the GOP side for president.
Yeah.
And right now they're floating Ron DeSantis'
Yeah,
name
Tim-
as a potential
I heard,
VP.
I heard that, but I think Tim Scott
Hmm.
is going to be the guy.
Okay, so you're going for
And
Tim
I
Scott.
like Ron DeSantis, I
Mhm.
do, but I'd rather he stay as our governor.
Yes.
Let's not help him. Okay.
All right.
And if he picks Haley, that lady,
Yes.
she's crazy.
Yeah.
She is crazy. I don't think that would work.
I don't
out.
think so. I think he's decided it already. I think I saw him on Laura Ingram's show the other day, and he said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, not so much." So
Oh no!
yeah,
But I would love it if he picked Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
yeah. I think Kristi Noem
Yeah.
is in there, in the mix. So there's a few people.
But Sarah, she wouldn't take
Yes.
with this
Well, that's
person.
yeah.
So I think it'd be terrific. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
All right. Fair
And
enough.
that's what it's worth, Frank. 2 cents.
All right. Very good, buddy.
All
Well,
right.
thanks for your call.
Take-
Thanks for your thoughts.
All right.
All right.
Take
Appreciate it.
care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Didn't Nikki Haley say that she wanted to deploy troops to Israel or something like that?
She may have mentioned, to support
Yeah.
Israel.
Like full on deploy troops. Of course, we stand with Israel, but like deploy troops is different.
Well, and so it could be that we would have troops on Israel proper, just as a backup, so that their troops could be more forward leaning into Gaza. But I don't know what her thinking was. I don't
Yeah.
think that we would have our troops
Mhm.
fighting on behalf of Israel.
Yeah.
So I don't see that. I see our troops being there just to offer
Emotional support.
offer security in Israel proper itself.
Yeah.
But that would be, I think Israel can take care of business itself.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I think that would be a stretch. But
Yeah, that would.
But anyways, all right. Well, guess what? We've managed to make it through an entire hour. We are already done.
Feel like we've never done it before.
But it's gone very, very quickly. We've covered a lot of topics, and we thank you for listening. We thank you, our callers, for calling in. And if you ever wanted to call in, next week we'll be taking your calls at 220-9788. We always like to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.